One take, one take. Um, no NBA. This is a review. You know what? I'm not gonna spoil it because I was hearing flack from my family and everything. But let me let you know about I seen this. Uh, this I seen this actually yesterday. Um, November 21st, 2024. I saw it yesterday. Um, Gladiator 2. I got several issues with this film. One issue I do feel I love Denzel Washington. Um, so many of his films throughout the years, you know, just as far as I'm just a young guy. Denzel Washington. He actually came. He came up with my uncle in the acting space years ago in New York. They was rolled around in the Bronx and things like that. So, but this film, right? Because Gladiator was a good film, and people loved it. There was always this comparison to the Spartacus movie with Kirk Douglas back in 1960, and there was always that comparison to that Gladiator. People, a lot of people, I love Spartacus. That Spartacus was it for me, and Gladiator was somewhat of it of the original Spartacus. So a lot of people wouldn't even understand that, right? They wouldn't even a lot of people, the younger people wouldn't even know that. They just love Gladiator, right? So my coming in to watch the film, I'm actually comparing this, and I told everyone I'm not comparing it to the original Gladiator because I feel that it's unfair. Because when I first saw it, I said, "Oh, let me not do that because it's a sequel." But what I'm going to compare it to is a lot of the other series and everything that got off the success of the original Gladiator, right? So you got the Spartacus Blood in the Arena series. You got So Many Things Can Die. You got Troy. We got so many, good and a lot of bad films too. Um, over oh over the past 20 years, 20 plus years. So I'm comparing that to that, right? And even like Game of Thrones and all those other things. They're books but that Gladiator was almost a template for modern movies to go in that kind of times put put all these other films together because Gladiator obviously was a blockbuster film with Ridley Scott, who's known to have really great films. But this one didn't really truly fulfill my need um, as a film, or just based on the other series that I've watched, and it just did not hit for me. It did not hit for me. The story, yes, it's going off the original and adding, years later and things like that, which is fine. You gotta do it. You're not gonna do it because, but it was a lot of things, especially with Denzel Washington. His performance in it, I understand his charisma is to help sell the movie and get people along, and his charisma in a lot of his films is really what get most of his films over. But I felt that his charisma was not needed in this film, and to have that, and it's just certain mannerisms, it just didn't do it for me. And people talk about the CGI, and I don't think too much into that because it doesn't really, no matter if it's good or bad, I don't really look too much in that. I really look at I just look at the dialogue, the film, the story, um, conversations, how this film is going along, and the belief in the film. Certain things I didn't. Connie Nielsen and Pedro Pascal. Listen, their performances is excellent in this film. Others, I just don't. It's not hitting me. Those two really was really doing it for them. Was doing it for me. I think Denzel Washington, like I said, was just not doing it for me. He just didn't do it for me. And I remember, I always said, I said, listen, Denzel Washington, he necessarily never did a bad movie, right? And I said he never gave a bad performance. This one it's just not doing it for me, And I did originally posted that I said this movie is trash. Um, that was just me coming in hot. But watching it again, I still have my recollections about it, but it's tough. It's tough. It's really tough. You know, trying to you know get through. Yeah, to try to get through this film, but it's. I mean, look, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. But Gladiator II, compared to so many other films, so many other films in this series, it just was just not doing it. It was just not doing it for me, And actually, there's one scene, if y'all seen it, them fighting in water, a water battle in the arena. They actually got that from a series because the series already did that. A series already did that type scene. So maybe people probably didn't see it. It's like, oh man, look at this! They're fighting in water. I'm obviously, yeah. All right, I can actually tell you those who's about to die. They did that. They did it, and but yeah, yeah. So that's just my thing. It's a I don't know. You could get through it. For me, I got through it. I saw it again, just and I don't see the film as like bad. Like I've seen bad stuff, but certain things. All right, that's all I got. This is NBA one take. Well, no NBA. Just a review on Gladiator, and I'm out.